Hi everybody, this is Doug at Willy Nilly's. We're going to do part 3 of the Wii Series Sioux fuselage construction. Today we're going to work on the horizontal stabilizer, elevator, rudder, and vertical fin. I'll show you how to finish those up and install. So first thing, you should have already had your patterns printed out. You'll have leftover wire from when you made your landing gear at the .055. And from that wire, you want to make this elevator joiner wire. Make sure when you print this pattern sheet that you print it at 100% actual size. And that way everything will be exactly what it is on the airplane. So take your time and cut that piece of wire to match that. And one thing you want to do is you want to rough it up just a little bit. I've already done that, but this just for example. Rough it up so when you glue it, the glue will stick to it real good. Anyways, now we're going to take that sheet out of the way. Leave your elevators and your horizontal in the sheet. It makes it a lot easier to install this. Keep it all straight. So once you do that, you can push that piece of wire right in there, and you know your elevators are nice and straight and centered. And for this, we're going to use medium CA to tack it in place. Make sure it's all nice and flat. Use your kit bag so your glue doesn't stick. And we'll put some glue just in the ends there. And then right along that edge. Use medium, don't use thin on this or it'll wick into your horizontal and stick to it. So once you do that, you can wait. It'll set up. It'll take a minute or so. But if you have some accelerator, you can do that. And it'll set up real quick for you. Real quick and easy. You can see when it sets up. Look there, it didn't stick or nothing. And you can remove it from the sheet. Look at that. Nice and straight. Then I like to come back on the back side. Fill that in with medium glue. That really locks it in good. Set it off. And you're set. Okay, you're ready to sand. You want to sand a nice round edge on the front so that when it moves. Horizontal stabilizer, same thing. Sand it round. It's easiest to do this before you glue it in place. Anyway, you get the idea there. That nice and straight. Okay, the vertical fin has two pieces that you have to glue together because of the nature of the go ahead and take the rudder off. Because of the curve there, we had to do a diagonal grain to keep the strength in it that it needs. And you just want to lightly sand that to get that little sprue tick off of there. And same here, just enough to remove that. Just a couple wipes, all you need. Found the easiest way to do this is to use thin CA. Hopefully it's end's plugged up. Clip the end off. Hold it in place, and then just let the thin CA do its magic. Wick right in there. And if you used your handy dandy build sheet, it didn't stick or nothing. Okay, that vertical fin's that easy. Then you can come back and sand it smooth. Now you probably will have to sand this just a little bit to get it, that front piece and the rest of the vertical fin just right. Vertical fin's done really that easy. Okay, so now we're going to take you through installing the vertical fin. The easiest way I've found, since we can't do an alignment slot laser cut, self jig on that, the easiest way is to line up a ruler here, and then since it's 1.25 inches, we will want to go 5/8 and mark the center, or 0.625. And then you can take your ruler, line it up on that center mark, and then line it up on the center of your tail, and just draw a real nice light line. That'll give you a center line. I didn't get it in the center, did I? Came pretty close. Must not have been holding my tongue right. Anyways. Okay, got that. Okay. Okay. And we'll do it again. That line's much better. We'll call that a left and a right side. Okay, the rudder sets over the top, so you want to mark that space where your vertical fin starts. And what I like to do is just put a tiny drop of medium CA on here. Line it up with your marks. Set it in place and try to hold it as close to vertical as you can. Okay. Then what I do is I eyeball it to where it looks 90, and that looks pretty good. Then I'll come back with the thin CA and lock it in place. And my glue tip clogged up already. And we'll lock her in place. I know you guys are saying you should use a square and all that, but you know what? If it don't look straight, it probably isn't. So you can see that it looks straight. Nothing fancy here. That's simple. Okay. Your horizontal stabilizer will go all the way up. And if you notice, there's a flat part at the very front. And right where it breaks away, you can mark it with your pencil. And then you want to line it up even on each side. Okay, the next thing, to make sure that it's square and true, you pick a point. For this one, we'll pick right where the rear dowel comes out. And it's at 9.75 inches to the corner. So if we are squared up, then this one, from there, the dowel should be 9.75. Let me hold this just right. guys can see this. Okay, so we're about 1/8 of an inch off, so I'll move it a 1/16. That should make up the difference. Double check it. Yep, we moved it a 1/16 on each side, so I just bumped it. I'll just do this until there we go. That's just right. Don't glue it yet. Don't want to glue it, because what we want to do is mark. If you on the horizontal stabilizer, you want to mark where it's square. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that it is straight this way. Excuse my hand gesture there, but here again, if it don't look straight, it's not straight, and it's not. So we'll have to trim. Let's see, this side is low, so I usually like to take away from the high side. So what we'll want to do, take our knife and just trim just a very little bit away. You may have to do this 2 or 3 times, but take the minimum amount that you have to get it off. And then we'll keep doing that until we see that it's lined up. Well, I got it. That looks really good. I don't know if it's hard to focus in the camera, but I'm going to go with that. Of course, ideally, you already have the leading and trailing edges sanded, ready to go, but I'm going to do that after the fact. Glue that in there. And where you got a little bit of a gap, I'll use medium to help fill that. Don't really lock her in here good. Okay. Okay. So let's see. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. We're going to go with that. Okay, so there's your vertical fin and horizontal. Use your favorite hinge method to install your horizontal and your rudder. We highly recommend using 25-pound fishing line. What you want to do, here, I'll just hinge the rudder real quick since we're doing good on time. This little rudder probably only needs 2 hinge points. We're going to go ahead and do 3 though. You want to cut them about 1/2 inch long, and that's about the right length. I had a T-pin laying around here. Use a T-pin or a sewing needle the easiest way to do it. I'm not real scientific here, but I'll show you how to get her done. I'd like to do one right above where the control horn fits. One about a 1/4 inch from the top. Oops. And then we'll do one right in the middle. Eyeball. That's about right there. We'll mark that a little bit more. Okay. So with your T-pin, let's see if I can get this in. Line it up right in the middle of the wood. Oop. And then poke it right in the middle. Go about an 1/8 to 3/16 deep. That's all you need. On these 1/16 control surfaces, you want to use the smallest pin that you got. I'm using one that's a little bit too thick, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And then you'll take your little piece of fishing line, just stick it right in the hole. And I got 2 more here somewhere. There's one. Stick it in that hole. And one more. I don't see the one that I cut, but we'll just cut another one here. And stick it in there. Okay. So I'm just going to take a little drop. And you'll actually see it wick in there. Get the excess glue off of there. I'm going to trim these down just a little bit. It only needs to go in a little over 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Now that part's done. Now we'll come back to your vertical fin, and we'll repeat the process on this side. Okay. You want to make sure you put it right in the center of each one of your alignment marks as best you can. Okay, that's all there is to her. We've got to, we'll do a quick check on the fit here. This part can be a little cumbersome to get in there just right, but if you go lighter than the 25-pound fishing line, it makes it really hard to get her lined up sometimes. Because the lighter than 25-pound wants to fold on you if there's any resistance at all. But okay. There we go. Okay. So you want to deflect your control surface about twice what you normally would want it to be, and then just put a tiny drop and let it wick into that other side. It only takes a second. I know it's set off because I just got some smoke in my eyes from the glue. And that's how simple that is. Works good, it's nice and loose. That's the way to do it. Okay, so that's going to conclude this video. We'll make another video soon that shows motor installation and rudder and elevator servo push rod installation. So until next time, guys, have fun and God bless.